Hey folks, this is Dan Chambers with Chambers Horsemanship here to do another short video for our tack tip series. And in this video, I want to talk about how we know if our bit is attached to our bridle or our headstall correctly. Because unfortunately for the horse, I've seen too many times at different 4-H events or shows or whatever that the bridle is put together wrong. Either the bit's upside down or the mouthpiece is in backwards. And again, it's very unfortunate for the horse that the horseman doesn't know it or doesn't realize it. So obviously there's a need for this small amount of education. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to cover with you. So there's several tattletale signs to tell us if a bit is correct or not. So on this particular bridle outfit, this is a snaffle bit. Okay, so on this bridle outfit, this is just a D-ring snaffle bit. But my mouthpiece, when I hold it flat, this one you can see has a slight curve going back towards the horse's mouth, and also on the back side you can see these copper inlays, and these go towards the back of the horse's mouth and lay against his tongue. These are the small tattletale signs on this particular bit. That this is basically the front of the bit, the back of the bit, and it's hanging on my bridle correctly. Okay, we've got another bridle here, and this is just a short shank transitional bridle bit, and it's a 3-piece, dog bone with a copper roller in the middle. But when we look at this bridle or this bit, this mouthpiece is very, very straight, so it's very hard to tell. There's no curves here to tell me the front or the back on this particular mouthpiece. There's no copper inlays on the back side to tell me because it's got a copper roller right here, so the inlays doesn't need to be. The shanks are loose fitted, so they could twist around very easily, and this bit could be hung on this bridle backwards very easily. This is a more difficult bit to tell. And if you come in very, very close, really the only way to tell on this bit is the top of our purchase where it comes out and our headstall hooks to it. If we're looking very straight down on it, on this shank, this has a slight curve to the outside to give our horses room, and so that this bit doesn't pinch them. It may be a little bit difficult to see, but again, this is one of the more difficult bits to tell which way is the front, which way is the back, because it can very easily get twisted around like this and put in the horse's mouth backwards, and this would be pinching on the sides of his cheeks. Also, how do we know the top from the bottom? Well, most of the time on our Western bits, our shank bits, our shanks are going to be longer than our purchase. The purchase is the part that comes out of the bit above the mouthpiece that our headstall and curb strap attaches to, and our shanks are what's below the bit that our reins attach to. And our shanks should always be equal or longer than our purchase. So that's another tattletale sign of what's the top from the bottom, so that this bit doesn't get put in the horse's mouth upside down. Okay, here we've got another snaffle bit outfit, and much similar mouthpiece to the other one, but on this particular mouthpiece, you can see over here it's got a slight curvature to it, and this one actually has a couple copper inlays in it on the back side, plus the dog bone and the copper roller on it. So with this slight curve, That's how we know on this particular bit which way's the back, you know, because we wouldn't want it this way. You can see when it's folded that way, the curves are going into the horse's bars of his mouth and pinching and biting on him that way. So that's a tattletale sign for this one. Okay, here we've got another short shank transitional bit that we like to use. And this is just a three-piece. It doesn't have the copper roller, but it does have some copper and brass inlays here to help with salivation. But again, if we were to look at this mouthpiece, it's a straight mouthpiece here, very straight, and we've got loose shanks that can spin all the way around. So again, how do we know the mouthpiece is on correct? Because we look at the very top of our purchase on this bit, and again, these rings where our headstall attaches has a slight twist to the outside to it to give our horses room on their mouth to not bite and not pinch. So if we're looking straight down on our shanks, you can see that this slightly rolls to the outside to give our horses room. And also we know it's not upside down because of the teardrop shape of our shank, and our shank is longer than our purchase. Okay, so I hope you guys find this little tack tip helpful, and hopefully it'll end up helping your horses down the road, and knowing that you've got your bit hung on your bridle or your headstall correctly, and your horse will enjoy you for it. So follow us on Facebook, hit like, hit share, give us some comments, drop comments. We love to hear feedback and constructive criticism. If you have something else that you'd like to add to it to help people, maybe that I didn't mention, that'd be great. Till we see you again, good luck.